Well, if you're trying to start a band that makes original sounding music that hipsters love and British critics fight to claim discovery of, try the MGMT model. First, don't try to start a band. Go to university, hip a friends of the new music you're listening to, and demand that they do the same for you. Perform electronica with the Ghostbusters theme as a sound bed in your dorm, in the nude, repeatedly, and grow from there. Because MGMT, the Brooklyn-based duo of Ben Goldwasser and Andrew Van Weingarten, did just that during their undergraduate years at Wesleyan University in Connecticut back in 2002. What evolved from those initial self-amusement projects is their first full-length disc for the broader public, Oracular Spectacular. It's one of my favorite new discs of 2008. And they, I understand, even ended up graduating. Ben Goldwasser and Andrew Van Weingarten, MGMT, join me now in Studio Q. Hello, boys.
What's up?
You did graduate, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, flying colors.
With flying colors.
Yeah.
So tell me, this is becoming, I mean, already the legend, the myth here of how MGMT started. I love the idea that NME and various British music magazines are going crazy over you guys, and that you didn't actually intend to even make this happen. You're a couple of guys going to Wesleyan. How did you first meet?
We lived in the same dorm, and kind of fell into, like, you just kind of found like a group of friends early on, and realized we had similar music tastes, and it wasn't like we really decided to start a band. We were just kind of messing around on a laptop.
They say that the
weird
first
noises.
friends you make at college usually don't keep very long, but we're here to prove that wrong.
Were you the first friends you met?
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
probably some of the first
I think
friends.
So Andrew, you're originally from Memphis, right?
Yeah, I'm from Memphis.
And Ben, you're from upstate New York.
Uh-huh.
So you meet. So what kind of music were you playing together? I mean, how did you first find out that creatively you had some sort of synergy?
Probably in front of a laptop computer, making synthesizer noises, trying to sound like insects.
Okay, and you found common energy in trying to sound like insects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What were you studying?
Music, but
Entomology.
we didn't really know what we wanted to study, and we ended up picking music major like a couple years into college because all the other things we had tried sort of didn't work out.
So what's the point where you go from screwing around together and having some fun to saying, hey, let's start a band? Let's actually do this.
I don't think we've really gotten to that point yet.
When will you know? When you're
We'll
when
never
you play
know.
Doesn't playing Letterman, isn't that the moment where you go, wow, we're a band?
That's when it should happen, maybe.
Yeah, it should have happened then.
Yeah. We're still a little bit too relaxed, I think.
Why are you so relaxed? Why? I mean, all of the stuff that's happening to you guys and with you guys, based on your work, based on the record. But tell me a bit about that. About being, I get it. I get you do seem pretty relaxed about all this, Andrew.
Well, it's like just comes naturally to us. I think we, I think it's kind of like we're out of it in our own worlds, and we don't really pay attention to what's happening. We ride around in cars, and then we're playing on MTV. So we just kind of go with the flow, and we're thinking about running away pretty soon.
Where would you run to?
Somewhere more relaxing,
Yeah.
like
Spain,
Mexico or Spain.
Mexico, it's somewhere where they're speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't speak Spanish though, but we'll learn.
Well, that would be relaxing then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody would be talking to you.
Yeah.
Your music sounds pretty euphoric. Like it almost, it sounds. I mean, how do you feel about me saying that? It sounds like a celebration.
That's
almost.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to think that it could be a celebration, or it could be dark and evil too.
I think
because
if you listen-
sinister dudes.
Like if you listen to
You
it,
don't seem very sinister.
if
Yeah,
you
that's
listen to
the
our album
thing.
on like a certain level, it sounds really fun. And then if you really take it very seriously, then it's not fun at all. Like if you actually, I don't know.
No, you can have fun not having fun.
Yeah, that's one of the things we were trying to accomplish on the album is like making parts on the album that like you really didn't want to listen to it because it wasn't fun, but you have to.
It's like someone who enjoys vomiting.
Do you feel like it's time to pretend? Is this pretend? The world of
Yeah.
rock and roll?
Yes, it is very much so. Right?
Yeah, I think that it's hard to try to figure out how to do this, like how to all of a sudden get recognition for something you've been doing for a while, and it's it's like it's hard to tell if you should try to be as honest as possible or if you should try to invent some kind of personality or story so that you don't have to tell everybody everything about yourself. It's kind of hard to tell the right way to go with that, or if you should try to convince people that you're telling the truth when you're really just lying straight out your ass. It's like it's hard. It's pretty hard.
It's also pretty hard to feel like it's pretend when you're working 15 hours a day, going from city to city, promoting, playing. I mean, where's the line between pretend and real life?
That's a good question, and it's something that we think about a lot, and we get scared sometimes. When the record people, I'll call them the record people, kind of talk about how we're playing shows. Like, if they had their way, we would play until 2012. When the world ends. But we want to record. Like, we really want to get back in the studio and record and spend time on beaches.
I mean, that song is very much about the fantasy of being rock stars, let's hook up with models, let's do this. I mean, how much of that fantasy is something you're actually interested in?
We're interested in models, and we're not really trying to develop hard drug habits,
But medium ones, maybe?
Maybe like medium rare or something. And I mean, not habits. Who wants a drug habit, We're more recreational drug users. We don't want to be slaves to some substance.
But you're taking the piss out of it a bit, right? You're making fun of. You're sending up.
It would be weird if it was a very serious song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious how much of that. I mean, it reminds me of when U2 were doing Zoo TV, and Bono's kind of making fun of being a rock star, but he is a rock star, and so you've got this song where you're sending up the idea of the pretend world
I hope
of the
that
rock
we're
star
not
fantasy.
like Bono though, because I don't really like Bono very much, and the fact that he wears those sunglasses all the time means something to me.
What does it mean to you?
I don't know, but I don't think it's good.
Is that why you don't like him?
That's one of the many reasons. We actually slaughtered an effigy of Bono at our senior recital.
You you created an effigy and then slaughtered it?
Yeah.
Wow, you really don't like Bono.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
But don't backtrack. It's okay. I mean, go with what.
Yeah, we got to
nice
stand
guy.
for something.
Well, he probably is a nice
Screw
guy. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's a nice guy, George Bush, he's probably a nice guy.
But you're not.
But I don't like him.
You didn't make an effigy of him. It was just
No, because then we'll get sent to Guantanamo.
Bono's got his tentacles everywhere. Be careful. Don't think you're in the clear just yet. If you've been
Bono, if you're listening right now, this is war.
in that song, you say, "We've got the vision. Now let's have some fun." Do you feel like you've got a vision for MGMT?
No.
We know that we want to end up in castles within 2 years. And that
you just said you wanted to be at a beach.
Well, yeah, a castle on the beach.
Castles built near a beach.
Castles
in Mexico.
made of sand.
In Mexico or Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you're eccentric kind of guys. You're obviously creative guys. You met sort of in a performance art / creative context. With everything you built for yourself, what did the transition to a big label mean for you?
It made us more creative because at the time we weren't doing anything at all together. And so all of a sudden we had to make an album because we were signed to a label and they expected us to make an album.
Yeah.
So it was the first time we'd written songs together in like a year. So it was actually beneficial to our creative
so it's giving you some structure.
juice factories.
Yeah, I think structure, and also I think a little bit of like a challenge and something to butt heads with a little bit. Like it's kind of hard to be like boundlessly creative when you can just do whatever you want and like nobody's criticizing you or like opposing you or anything like that. And it's like you can do something, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to really give it meaning unless you're kind of like up against something or
I got you.
You have it has to be like a challenge, I think. So it's nice that we're trying that we in order to make this work we have to like convince people that it's worth putting out in some way while still being true to ourselves and like making music that we want to make.
You ended up working with a producer, Dave Friedman, who's recorded Sparkle Horse, Mercury Rev, Flaming Lips, amongst others. But I like this story. Columbia asked MGMT, asked you guys to draw up a list of dream producers, and you gave them a list that included Prince, Barack Obama, and not Sheryl Crow, who I guess we can add to the list now.
Like Bono. Yeah. I'm sure she's nice, but you know,
Don't put us in a room with the two of them.
yeah.
But she was on the show here a couple of weeks ago. What is it that you don't like about Sheryl Crow?
We wouldn't want her to produce our record.
Right.
That's all.
But
Mostly
Barack,
the music, I guess.
but Barack, you figure he'd bring something.
Well, I mean, he's popular, so a lot of people would probably buy the album.
Yeah, just having his name on there.
Right.
Produced by Barack Obama, like.
And we could take
buy.
smoke breaks together.
When you look ahead to the next couple of years, do you feel daunted or do you feel excited?
I feel a little bit daunted just thinking about the expectation in terms of our live show, just because we've been so busy that we really haven't had time to make it like maybe the production or like this huge thing that we would if we had 2 or 3 months to work on it.
Yeah, I think
because we just started playing with this 5-piece band like late summer, and now we have a new lineup now, so it's kind of like starting over in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I mean, a lot of bands that have blown up recently. I don't know if I could really be specific, but like it seems like there's this aesthetic that with a lot of bands of being kind of like DIY and like punking away and like really raw sounding, just like stripped down rock and roll, and I think it's a lot easier for a band like that to impress people live because that's what people are expecting. And it seems like with us, for some reason, they're expecting us to be like the masterminds of some kind of spectacle, and we're just like a couple of kids who got lucky and got signed to a big record label, and like we haven't had the time to really create a spectacle. We just we wrote some songs and we play them live with our band, but like and hopefully people will be impressed by that. But
we're working on getting a backdrop. We already know what it's gonna say though.
Try and take your time. Try and take your time. Seriously, try and take your time.
It's just weird that we're gonna be like opening up for Radiohead, and we're like, I'm still like figuring out which pedals to use on songs.
Well, don't take too much time, but
Yeah.
but try and take your time, and hopefully the castle on the beach will come in the right way. It's a pleasure to have you guys here.
thank you.
Thanks, man.
Best of luck.